Hey, so this is going to be part 2 to the high voltage power supply. This evening before I decided to start the video, I figured I'd put this nice little terminal strip in here to do my testing and actually to terminate the wires from the transformer, make them nice and safe like. So, we had one comment so far about the see what the ohmage, so many ohms the two yellows got, the two reds got, and the orange got between two reds. So, and the voltage we're getting from the transformer at present. So, I went ahead and got the ohms of each of the wires, as well as the voltage made by the transformer across those wires. So, this is what I have. So, between the two yellow and yellow, we have 5 ohms. Between the red and the orange, we have 19 ohms. And between the orange and red, again, 19 ohms. And then between the red and the red, we have 34 ohms. So, we have a center tap transformer. So, with the ohms in mind, what do you think the voltage would be? So basically there's 115 volts supplied to the input of the transformer over here. We've got 115 volts supplied to the transformer. And what do you think the voltage would be? On the voltage of the yellow, between the two yellows. What do you think the voltage would be between the red and the orange? And orange and red, and the voltage between the red and the red. Let you ponder that there for a minute. Alright, long enough. So what we have is this. So between the two yellows, we have 6 volts AC. Between the red and orange, we have 125 volts AC. And between the orange and red, again, we have 125 volts AC. And then between the two reds, we have 250 volts AC. So this is indeed a high voltage transformer from an old tube radio. And the transformer appears to still be working fine. Now, I guess the next question is, where do we go from here? I have a pile of rectifier diodes that we could use for this. Different types, bridge rectifiers, all types, different kinds, types, whatever. And of course, what do diodes do? Well, obviously they convert AC to DC. So, we have the diodes. Then we need the capacitors, electrolytic capacitors. Obviously, you wouldn't put a low voltage capacitor, electrolytic, like this, 16,000 UF. I took this off, but it's 35 volts. So, what do you think if you put that in there, what would happen? Well, she'd probably go off like a firecracker and have a meltdown right on the desk. So, in saying that, I do save electrolytic capacitors from old computer power supplies and stuff. So, would you put a 200 volt electrolytic in there? No. Well, we got 125 volts on between the red and the yellow, So, you know, technically we could probably use this one after the rectifier diode, but we'd have to see what the voltage would be. Then we have 35 volts, not enough for nothing. I got some high voltage ones here someplace in this, amongst this mess. That one's 250 volts, so that one could definitely be used in this thing. We have another one of these, which is going to be great. We'll definitely be using those. 35 volts. 200 volt again. What do we got here? 71, no good. 200. 200. I have a lot of 200 there, don't I? I don't want to bore you too much going through these. Give you here for 63. 200 again. 200. 250. There you go. That's even a better one again. So we could throw that one back and we could put this one in its place. A couple more. What are these ones? $50 no good. So anyways, so right now we have one capacitor. So you could use that as a filter capacitor on between the red and the orange. But now I need capacitors that's electrolytics that's can do at least 300 volts, 350, 450 volts. So I'm going to be on the hunt a little bit. But we do have two electrolytics at 250 volts. So next part of the video is we have diodes. So what type of diode should we use here, as in part number, to convert this AC to a DC voltage? So that's our next stage of this. So anyways, this is part 2 of building a high voltage transformer or a high voltage power supply. And a few more terminal strips that we could use for this, so we're good in that department. But anyway, let's see what we do in the next video. See if we can convert this AC to DC and see what kind of voltages we're dealing with. $250 volts AC, boys oh boys. That's a lot of voltage. Anyway guys, all the best, 73. And we'll see you in the next video, part 3 of building a high voltage power supply. Sounds right.